Hey guys, Sean here. So today we're going to take this apart and see if the Game Boy inside has actually a functional Game Boy. It looks like they removed the DC-DC converter, so that's going to have to be resoldered, but I mean, it looks like everything else is intact, and I mean, there's the buttons. There's no LCD screen, but I mean, I have plenty of those. I'll add that. So yeah, let's get started here. Okay. So this is the part that we care about. I took it out of the frame. So let's just go ahead and remove all this. So there's it's really stuck on there. Wow, okay. Huh. Interesting. So this has screws, but the screws actually pulled out. Might need to apply some heat to some of this. I mean, I have plenty of these like membranes and whatever, because there's stuff all over this. It's really, that might not work. Let's get some prying tools here. Yeah, there's not really an easy way to get this stuff off. Anyway. Oh well. Yeah, the main part that we're concerned about is the motherboard here. So I guess it's good to test with this part first. Let's see. Yeah, the buttons are pretty covered in gunk. That's an aftermarket IR port. Wonder if they got rid of the little nub. Yep, it looks like they did. Yep, they cut away the little nub so this could be flush on there. Interesting. It's all for science, guys, all right? There we are. Okay, I probably will use some heat to get the rest of that off of there. But it looks fully intact, so that's good. This is an 05 revision motherboard. All right, it's coming free. Right here. Okay, lots of glue. I'm pretty sure it's hot glue, actually. It's just a very, maybe it's like an industrial kind of hot glue or something, I don't know. But overall, it looks pretty intact. Yeah, there's no power LED, which they just cut off because there's the little leads right there still. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, so here's my little mat again. Let's take a look at this. I'm gonna use my hot air station here. Okay, got the paper off. Hot glue is it's not conductive, so I mean they use it all the time in electronic stuff, so I don't know, maybe I'll just leave that. I think this is probably the bigger concern because, you know, it's covering up little buttons and different things here. So let's try to see if we can loosen that up a little bit. Let's start with this area right here. Okay, so it's kind of coming off. It's kind of just like flaking off. It's not really, it's not turning to liquid. All right, if we can get this off. and make a giant mess. This seems to be working pretty well. I think we're almost there. That might be good enough to... Let's see if we can get these things out. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay. So yeah, that'll be fine. Still has all the capacitors, it looks like. Doesn't look like it's missing any components. Oh yeah, except the DC-DC board here. So let's clear this off. Okay, I found some wires. I think what I'm going to do is solder them through all these holes and leave them like kind of raised up. And that way I can easily solder them onto the little DC-DC board here. And yeah, it looks like pretty easy to get through. It's only sticking up a little bit there. So let's see if I can push it through a little bit more. That's probably pretty good. Maybe I'll just use my fingers like this. That looks pretty good. Just a touch more. So you guys can see those sticking up right there. Now I'm going to do this side. There's only 3 on this side. Looks good. Better it be too long than too short. All right, so let's get rid of all that. Let's try to get one of them kind of tacked into place here. Start with this top one. Sorry if you hear a cat crying in the background. I closed the door and he seems to hate that. Okay, that looks good. Now let's tack one on this side. All right. So let me take a look here. Okay, I think that is in place. Hey, where's that power LED? Here's a power LED. I'll reinstall that. It's just an old one that I had laying around. Let's check these fuses. You see that? Yeah. First fuse is good. Second fuse is good. Okay, I guess we can try powering it on and see what happens. Okay, got an LCD screen. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Place your bets now. Power switch is off. And I'm going to plug it in through this. Here we go. Looks like nothing. So let's check the voltage. Let's turn this on. And let's check the voltage of these here. So we're getting 5 volts there. Okay, positive 13 volts there. Nothing there. 4. Okay, I think this is working okay. Oh, actually, I see something on the screen now. Yeah, something's definitely flashing on the screen. Okay, so there could be some some kind of damage. This could be a damaged motherboard that they used. Okay, there's 5 volts there. There is power getting to the switch. Aha! Look at that. Something is happening. Okay, so let's go ahead and replace the capacitors and clean this board up a little bit. Maybe we'll clean the power switch, but it looks like it's functional. All right, so to clean the power switch, what I like to do is get a scalpel, something like this. Just add a little bit of fresh solder to each side here. Oh, that just popped right off. I've never seen that happen before. Something is weird. It was like under tension. So this must have been opened up before. Interesting. It did look like maybe it had been, but lift up that side. All right. It actually does look fairly clean inside there. Interesting. So these must be motherboards that they like tried to repair and then failed or something. Yeah, this is kind of like bent. So I can see how that would have kind of sprung up the way it did. Sizzling from the alcohol. The alcohol's drying up in there. Yep, feels good. Feels better. I also should probably clean this little guy. I don't know what the sound on this is like yet, but can't hurt to clean it. This is definitely an aftermarket potentiometer here. That's not original. These are definitely Game Boys that were broken, that were attempted repairs. But if we can get it working, then all the better. Okay, that's not bridged. It's not in there perfectly, but it's enough to test it. Okay, next up is capacitors. All right, so here's the new ones. Sometimes you need a little bit extra solder in there too. Okay. All right. So these are a little bit tricky to remove, but one of the best ways I found is to just really take your time and go one side at a time, back and forth and back and forth. I got this side lifted a tiny bit so I can now get a razor blade under here very subtly. But with that under there, you get it, heat that up a little bit, and you can see it able to move a little bit. So let that, there we go. Get it over here. It's very easy to rip the pads off of these. I have had luck in the past, literally just ripping these off the board, but it's not a proper way to do it, obviously, but you can take that risk if you want. So anyway, so there we go. There's one side almost done. And now I'm going to go in. Can really get in there now. And on this side, yeah, there we go. Pads fully intact. There's old capacitor. Wow, so this one already has a pad that was lifted. Yeah, that wasn't even soldered on. Interesting. So this side's going to have to be connected elsewhere, wherever down the line it connects to, or we could kind of scrape away some of the solder mask. But yeah, it's really interesting. This is definitely a board that had an attempted repair on it. There we go. All right. Okay, so for this one here, it's capacitor C38. The positive goes down here to EM1, and the negative, it just goes to it just goes to ground. That's, I think it's the symbol for chassis ground or common ground. So we just connect it up to probably right back here, the battery terminal. Or we could use the ground pad over here. There's quite a few places we can use. So let's start with this big one. The big one gets mounted basically upside down, like this. And I like to tin these pads. And then heat up one side, get that in place. There we are. And then the other side. Just make sure it's nice and flush and flat. And that feels pretty good. So we'll start with the really tiny one back here. Okay. So let's make this wire go to the other side of the board. And it's kind of long, but I'm just going to wrap it around for now. So a couple things to look for this time. Still not going to be any audio, but there is a power LED now. And see what kind of interesting colors, whatever we get on the screen. All right, still says Game Boy. Power LED might be inverted. Okay. So let's fix that LED real quick. It's not a huge deal, but might as well fix it. Okay. So it doesn't go this way. It goes this way. There we are. Okay, got that through. Just add a little bit more solder to it. And double check that LED now. There we go. It's working. We fixed it, you guys. Not really. Let's see now. Don't see anything missing or looks like it was damaged or changed. Let's give it one more test. I don't know if the cartridge reader is any good. But let's try plugging in a game. Here's my Pokemon Crystal. Holy moly. It just started right up. Oh, it reset right there. Okay. It could be a power issue related to this. Let me hold it very still. Yeah, hold it very still. Yeah, watch. If we move this around, yeah, it resets. So this is there's definitely some kind of problem with this. The batteries might still be okay. I mean, if we connect up the batteries, it might still be okay. But let's try connecting a speaker and see if that works. And I'm just going to solder to this side because the old little leads are there, and for testing purposes, it doesn't really matter. So leave the old leads there for now. Don't hear any sound yet. No, I'm not hearing anything there. Let's try pair of headphones. This will be a telltale sign if there's something wrong with the whole audio system, or if it's just like the speaker. Oh, I heard something, I think. Yep, I can hear it. It's just extremely quiet. So, so the speaker's not working. Did some digging in my parts bin and I found one of these. One of the new Funny Playing speakers. So I don't know if the speaker is actually non-functional or not. So, because there is audio coming out through the headphones. I think it's somewhat quiet, but I mean, if we can get audio working, then it looks like that might be the last step. Okay, got one. That's pretty hot. And two. Okay. If this speaker doesn't work, then it's probably a more serious problem. But we'll see. Okay, ready? And nothing on the screen. Okay, I hear nothing. Yeah, still nothing. So there's probably some other kind of issue with the speaker. But you know what? I'm going to leave it at that for now and just get this put back together in here, because this is already turning into a pretty long video. So let's see, what do we need here? Let's go ahead and get some buttons and membranes. Okay, there's the screen in, speaker. Okay. That was a bad shell. But let's give this a try. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, it's missing the... Alright, all I have left are these really cheap ones, but whatever. Should work. Here we go. Hey, the speaker's working now. Ridiculous, what happened? It's actually really loud too. That's amazing. Alright, so there we have it. Are you a boy or are you a girl? I'm a boy. Okay, so GridStudio, thank you for sending me one of your shadow boxes, but I destroyed it and turned it into a working Game Boy. So yep, that was actually a pretty fun experiment. So yeah, I guess that's it for this one, you guys, and I will see you next time.